Hey, welcome back to Blockchain Basics. Today, I've got a quick market update for you because after more than 5 months of being stuck in a range, not doing much of anything, yesterday, Bitcoin finally broke down to set new lows. Also, it's now been just over a year since my first video, and the whole point of that video was to warn you that I thought we were about to experience a huge bear market where Bitcoin would fall something like 85%. Now, as I'm recording, Bitcoin has just fallen below $17,000, meaning it's down more than 75% in the last year. And I felt the need to be transparent and let you know that after more than 2 years, I'm finally buying Bitcoin again. Now, I realize that for most people who don't own any Bitcoin, which I think is probably the majority of you who watch these videos, it can be pretty scary to make that first move. And certainly, if you buy at the wrong time, you can lose a lot of money. So, as someone who spends a lot of time watching these markets, why am I buying Bitcoin right now? The first thing to point out, I guess, is that we haven't fallen 85% yet, which is what I have been expecting to happen. And that last 10%, it does make a huge difference. You might think that to go from 75 to 85%, the price just has to fall another 10%. But actually, it would have to fall almost another 40%, basically to $10,000. At the same time, I would caution anybody against being so deterministic. Look, I feel like I did a pretty good job predicting the top of Bitcoin when most other people were saying it would go to $100,000, $300,000. At the same time, though, my exact price target was $72,000. Imagine if I had waited to sell all my Bitcoin until that target was reached. Well, I wouldn't have sold anything because although it was really close, it never actually hit $72,000. Fortunately, it didn't matter because I was selling along the way up. And likewise, even though I think it's very possible we do see a $10,000 Bitcoin again, I'm going to be buying along the way down. Because to me, the macro trend is clear. Bitcoin has proved itself, and unlike every other currency in the world, there's a finite supply of Bitcoin. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. Right now, it's a niche market, and it's possible for an ordinary person like me or you to buy a good percentage of a Bitcoin or even a whole Bitcoin. A few market cycles from now, when more people know about it, when it's starting to be used in retirement accounts, mutual funds, bought up by Fortune 500 companies, that 21 million Bitcoin is going to seem like a very small number. So I think you just need to decide for yourself, do you want to own Bitcoin? Do you believe in it or not? And I'm never going to tell you what to do. This is obviously not investment advice. I'm not trained in any way as a financial advisor. I do this for fun. But look, this is what I'm doing. I already bought a little bit in this $18,000 to $20,000 range over the past couple months. And when it finally broke yesterday below this range, I put in some buy orders over on Coinbase Pro. One of them got hit around 17,000. And if it keeps going down like it appears to be doing now, I have another buy order set around 16,000. And if it falls even more, then I'll buy even more. I see a lot of YouTube creators that make really bold claims, either that the bottom is definitely already in, which is obviously not the case today, or that we're definitely going to go down to some level that they've decided. Now, I'm not interested in trying to time the bottom like that. To me, that strategy is way too risky, and we should not assume that we really actually know what is going to happen. I heard a saying that I think sums it up perfectly. Those who pick bottoms get smelly fingers. So yeah, let that sink in. Nonetheless, we can at least look to the past to see what usually happens. In 2015, Bitcoin crashed 87%. In 2018, it lost 84%. If you go back even further than this chart shows, you would find that in 2011, it went down something like 93%. So it does appear that each bear market is going down slightly less than the one before it, which also makes sense because each bull market is going up slightly less than the one before it. We're seeing diminished returns and diminished losses. And this would suggest that anywhere above, say, $10,000 to $12,000 is a reasonable place to expect Bitcoin to bottom. And that also makes sense to me because we've spent a lot of time in this range. A lot of people have bought Bitcoin at these prices before and will be interested in doing it again. You know, when the price just shoots straight up like it did from $12,000 to $40,000, that means there's very little support to hold on its way back down. I don't think that it's a coincidence that we crashed so quickly from 45,000 down to 20K. There's just no real supportive levels to stop it. It also makes sense to me that we paused out around 20,000 because this is exactly where the previous all-time high was set in 2017, and it was holding that level as support. Now that we've broken that support, we're looking for where the next serious supportive level is going to come in. And honestly, there's a ton of support down here. But again, I would not be so deterministic because you never know if it will really make it all the way down to 10K. The final thing I need to mention is that Bitcoin has never existed during a recession. And we've talked at great length on this channel about the risk of a recession in the coming year. So I'm well aware that any Bitcoin I buy between 10 and 20,000 could lose a lot of its value during a recession. And really, no one knows how low it could go during a recession. Maybe the recession is what takes us down to 10K. Or maybe we're already at 10K when the recession hits, and then we go even lower. To me, that would actually be the buying opportunity of a lifetime, but you need to always consider the risk. And of course, do your own research or talk to a financial advisor before investing. But with that said, I'll see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.